Hey y'all, welcome over to my YouTube channel where today I want to share something with you guys that I've been keeping under wraps for a few months. A year ago, I was having a conversation with somebody and it turned to my weight where that person then asked me like, why have you never considered surgery? It was just a normal conversation, no big deal. And my answer was super simple. I just didn't have the support system. And this person said, well, now you do. And honestly, that changed the entire perspective that I have for everything in my life. So I spent the next 6 or 8 months doing the research, considering the surgery, and just second guessing if I could really do it and if it would just be something that, not that I could do, but that would be truly supportive. People think you decide to have surgery and then boom, it's just scheduled, right? That's not how it goes. Y'all don't even know the half of it. So I started the process and it's super, 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 super long process. There's appointments and evaluations and nutrition classes and psych visits, and my insurance requires certain other things. They look at every single part of your life, and the conversation they keep coming back to is this support system directly after surgery, and which I knew that had to be in place before I even entered the program. I stayed quiet about this and what's happening in my life for I say a really long time, but like 6 months really isn't that long, right? For the last 4 months, I've been on this path and just didn't want to be judged, and like people look at weight as a shameful thing. A couple weeks ago, I was in the surgeon's office and I was honestly like just minding my own business and playing on my phone. This guy walked up and he checked in and he sat down like a couple seats away from me. I'm just playing on my phone, minding my business. And he asked me if I had been in the program for long or if I was just starting out. And I told him, well, kind of just starting out, but like it's a long process and it's really hard work. And he wanted to dig a little bit deeper. And I said, okay, sure. Like you can ask whatever questions. That's fine. It's just me and him in this waiting room. So he asked me a couple other questions. One of them being, my relationship status. And I was like, no, I'm single. Like, it's fine. It's whatever. So he asked me if I wanted to know, like, what the hardest part of the journey was. Now, this man is, like, super skinny. So I never would have thought, unless he talked to me, that he would have been in the program. He said the hardest part of this journey is yourself. Obviously, like you're working on your entire life. But then he continued to explain and how the biggest part of this journey is yourself, because you have this big mindset and you have to consider all of these things throughout your life and if it fits into your size. And he said you gotta pull that back, you gotta stop thinking like that, and that's the hardest part. So I kind of explained to him like my story in depth. I don't go into that with you guys, and how I got where I was, and that it was due to a couple different conditions, and I don't know what happened, but like I really just kind of poured my heart out to this guy in the office, and he just said like get that mindset of being big out of your head and you're gonna be fine. So I did. And once I had that conversation with him, like my entire mindset, like even it changed even more, because it has changed through this program. And I knew what I had to do starting out with this, but like if you're not losing the weight, what does it matter? Well, now this became a possibility, so like I was already doing the changes, so it's fine. Big surprise. It's not really about surgery, but it's about changing your lifestyle. Yeah, so if I change my lifestyle now, it's not going to change my weight. I've done this before. It's whatever. But I'm making the changes. You can't look at food certain ways. You can't say, hey, I'm gonna have this big old portion. Like, you go to the restaurants and they're like this big, and yeah. So anyways, it's a lifestyle change, and it's been a lot, and I really have just kept quiet about it. And I just decided, because after that conversation I realized, like, I'm not gonna stop streaming, I'm not gonna stop posting content. So why am I keeping this part under wraps? Y'all are gonna see the change, and then you're gonna be like, oh, what are you doing? How are you doing it? You look amazing. Whatever, that's fine. But like, why would I do that? Why would I not just take you guys along on the journey with me, whatever. So that's what I've decided I'm gonna kind of turn my content towards for the next couple months. It's, not just something that's gonna be the next 3 months, the next 2 months, the next 6 months. It's gonna be a lifelong process, but you guys are gonna start seeing a lot of changes, and I might be gone for a little while once I have the surgery. And honestly, like, what's the harm in posting content if it helps one person not feel the way I felt about it, not feel shameful about, oh my god, I'm having a weight loss surgery. Who cares if it's what's best for you? So that's just a little bit insight into what I've been doing, on top of, like, I'm doing school and I have some family stuff going on. I really am changing a lot of things for the better, and this is one of them. So I've decided I'm just gonna bring you guys on the journey with me. I love that you guys are always here when I do stream, so I appreciate you all for that. It's just changing a little bit. I'm not going anywhere, but look for different content, different videos, maybe YouTube, maybe TikTok, I don't know. Like, tell me what you want to see. Tell me what you know I'm down for, like, even like recipes, because you have to eat so much protein in a day, and it's really hard to get all that protein in. So I'm down for like recipes, and I just want to share with you guys, because I don't want to get to the end and you guys start to see the change and be like, what did you do? Well, why didn't you tell us? Well, why didn't you just share with us? So here I am, and that's what it's gonna be. And I honestly, after that conversation with that guy, I really can't wait to take you guys with me on the journey. So I appreciate all of you that are here. You guys are amazing, and just look for at least one post a week. We'll see what happens. We'll see, that's it. And maybe it's more for my documentation to see the change for myself. I don't know. We'll see. But I love you all, and I appreciate you all for being here. I will see you guys soon.